Here's my review of Swarm. This show is very disturbing, but it is very engaging. It's just such a bizarre concept. Basically, we follow Dre, who's an obsessed fangirl of a singer named Nyjah, and she's kind of going through increasingly violent lengths because of her obsession. And what really kicks this off is her emotional ties with her sister, because her and her sister are both very excited to go see her, but then her sister Marissa kills herself. And this kind of pushes her off the edge because she's already like super obsessed. And then after like the death of her sister, she kind of snaps a little bit. And then that's when the show takes a really dark turn. So she's suffering kind of from her depression and obviously grieving with the death of her sister, and she also is kind of going a little bit crazy because then she also did not get a chance to go see her favorite singer, Nyjah. And like I said, she already snapped, and then she kind of snaps even more by, I guess, taking her anger out by killing haters of Nyjah. That's basically what this show is about. A lot of this show is her like looking online on under Nyjah's social media and then like finding people who hate Nyjah and then tracking them down and killing them. It is a crazy, crazy concept because this girl's like a psychopath. But for some reason, like, it's very just fun to watch. Like, you kind of are interested in this character because it's such a weird concept. And I mean, like, part of it, like, sometimes you'll kind of like look at like some of the fans that like, or the haters of Nyjah. Some of them, they say like terrible things about her, like in threats. So I guess in her mind, she's doing a good thing. But like, you as a viewer know that she's just kind of crazy. Like in one scene when she tries to like kill someone who doesn't like Nyjah, she's like listing all the reasons and all the Grammys that Nyjah has as opposed to other singers. And obviously the guy's just terrified and like doesn't understand why she cares, like, but it's just weird because you're following this killer, but she's still a very interesting character. You don't really hate her, and that's what I think. Maybe because she's so over the top, you can't really find it believable. But it is just a weird character because she's a psychopath, but at the same time, like, you kind of feel bad for her because of her sister. But it's just kind of crazy. And especially kind of when you get some flashbacks, kind of learn more about her childhood, you do kind of sympathize with her more. But a lot of it's just like, I wouldn't say you're rooting for her, but it's just a very fun character to watch. And yeah, this show is very violent, so keep that in mind. Like, the kills in here are brutal, but it is pretty fun to see. As, like, right here, she's just killing this guy all because of he didn't like Nyjah. It is just crazy to think, and it really just reminds you of, like, somebody like crazy Taylor Swift fans, crazy Beyonce fans. When you say something, or really just any fan base, and I think that's what the show is mainly parodying, is any fan base of just how crazy they get when they hear that somebody doesn't like that particular like singer, actor, genre, whatever, and how hateful they could be. So it's kind of making fun of that while also like showing that in like a way, almost like a, I want to say horror, but like just a darker tone. Also, Billie Eilish is in this show, and it kind of just threw me off. It was really weird. She was at like this weird like therapy session for like two of the episodes, where they were kind of like they were all planning on going to see Nyjah, and like Billie Eilish and all her, like, basically it's like a cult, are basically saying how she's not worth the hype, and then like it kind of makes her very mad. And yeah, so she kills all of them too. So yeah, a lot of the show is you're just following this character going crazy. You're following Dre going crazy, finding haters and killing them. And it's a very, like I said, it's just so weird. Like, I don't really hate, she's not really a likable character, but it's not like you're seeing her do terrible things and you don't really hate her because it does feel so unrealistic and so crazy. You're more just like, what? And you're almost like laughing, but still like kind of horrified. And that's what I think the show does really good, is it can be really funny, but also like in like the blink of an eye, it's kind of like goes almost like horror. It's weird, just like how tense it gets. Like there's this one scene where she's like talking to this guy who like said hateful things about Naija, and you can just feel the tension rising because you know she's gonna kill him, and it just like starts off calm and gets way scarier. And at a certain point, it's a couple like months later, maybe a year, Dre gets a girlfriend after she transitions, and then the girlfriend doesn't actually like Naija, and what makes Dre snap is he bought tickets for her, and his girlfriend said multiple times that she doesn't like Naija, and so she chokes her to death, or he chokes her to death. And it's just crazy. Like, this whole show is just bizarre. It's like finding haters, killing them. That's it. But there is a lot of emotional depth, and you do find these characters very interesting. And towards the last episode, like, Dre eventually kind of goes to the Naija concert, but he loses his tickets, and this obviously makes him not happy, so he ends up killing some random person for their tickets. And at this point, like, you already kind of know that this character snapped a long time ago, but so it's kind of just like expected. And then one of the weirdest things in the whole show happens. So he sneaks in and eventually gets to the concert, and like he jumps on stage at the concert, and then Naija lets him sing. And it's just a very weird show. Like, she stops everyone from attacking him. But then eventually kind of gets, and then like they too, like she hugs him like to make him feel better, and then they walk into a limousine. And I think this part is actually in his mind, but we don't know that for sure. Like, they don't show it, but I feel like it's pretty implied. Like, I think he's getting arrested, and he's just hallucinating, kind of going in this car with Naija, and like all of this is just in his head. At least that's what I think, and I think that is heavily implied, but I don't know for sure. But that is basically how the show ends. And I did kind of leave out, there is another episode where there's almost like a documentary style episode towards the end too. It's very interesting where they're going over like their childhood. That part was really cool too. But yeah, this show is basically you just following Dre, killing haters, and going crazy. And it's a lot of fun. Like, the characters are all interesting. It's a really weird show. You're never really bored. And the episodes are only like 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. So it's pretty fast paced and a lot of fun. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was insane. Had great action, great horror, great dramatic parts. And overall, it was just a really good show. I thought it was great. Very weird, though. But overall, it was good.